how do I become a Buddhist? And how I convert to Buddhism? This is an FAQ that most of the Buddhist monks been asked by people, They ask like, how can I become an officially Buddhist, How can I convert to Buddhism? Well, when you ask that question, it is very difficult to give an exact way of converting to Buddhism, like ceremonial way, because in other religions there is this process, there is a ceremonial way of converting to that religion, like baptism, right? But it is in Buddhism, and there is no process or there is no ceremony of baptism, right? But the process, the way that is a process that is very closer to the conversion, that you can say converting to Buddhism, is going for refuge to the triple gems, or going for refuge to the three refuges in Buddhism. Now, we've discussed about the three refuges in Buddhism in another video. If you like to learn about what three jewels and three refuges in Buddhism are, you can check out that video as well. So the three jewels or three refuges in Buddhism is, first one is the Buddha, right? Or the historical Buddha himself. And the second jewel or second refuge in Buddhism is the Dhamma, the Buddha's teachings. And the third refuge is the Sangha, or the monastic community. So if you follow the Buddhist path, one must take refuge in these three refuges, right? Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Buddha and Buddha's teachings and the monastic community. Now, why we go refuge to the Buddha? There's a reason behind it. We go for refuge to the Buddha considering him as our inspiration, right? We always look up to his life, way of life, right? And we adopt those valuable qualities to our life. We try to follow his life, character, right? Although we can't follow it for the perfection, we must try to do that. We must learn from his life, right? So as the inspiration, as the role model of our spiritual path, spiritual practice, we go refuge to the Buddha. That is the purpose behind going refuge to the Buddha. And the second, the Dhamma, the Buddha's teachings, why we go for refuge to the Buddha's Dhamma or Buddha's teachings is because it provides the framework for the spiritual practice, right? It provides this framework to us to follow the path. Okay, so we must have the confidence to follow that. It doesn't mean that you have to blindly believe it, right? It doesn't mean that you have to have the blind faith. You cannot have any questions, right? In Buddhism, there is no anything that is unquestionable, right? Everything can be questioned. Right? You may have doubts, you can have doubts, right? Doubts are always seen as sign of improvements according to Buddhism, because Buddha says that if someone thinks, right? If someone thinks about the reality of life, he may have some questions, right? So that he goes on asking the questions, what is the meaning behind this life, right? What should I know? How should I see this life? So when he asks questions, then he gets the answers, okay? In that way, he must seek something. So in Buddhism, we follow the Buddha's teachings by asking questions and by self-exploration and putting it into practice, not just because merely we believe in it. Okay, that is the purpose of going refuge to the Buddha's teachings. It provides us the spiritual framework. And why we go for refuge to the Sangha or the monastic community is because they provide us the spiritual support, the living spiritual support, right? So to get that spiritual support, we need to have confidence on them. So what we do, we go for refuge to the Sangha, right? So these are the three refuges in Buddhism. Now, how to go refuge to the Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha, these three jewels and three refuges? There is this traditional way of doing it, that is by chanting it, that Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. We chant it for 3 times. And that is the traditional way of going for refuge. You can closely say that this is the way of converting to Buddhism. But here's the thing. Just because you said it, or just because you chanted that Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, I go for refuge to the Buddha, I go for refuge to the Dhamma, I go for refuge to the Sangha, the monastic community, doesn't mean you actually become a Buddhist, right? Because all these refuges follows, and it provides a purpose. We need something to do in it. So what we need to do is we need to follow the path, follow the practice, follow the Buddha's advice, right? If you're following the Buddha's advice and if you're putting it into practice, okay, if you're practicing it within you, then you can call yourself as a Buddhist. But understand, the term Buddhist did not exist in the Buddha's time, right? One of the closest words that we can find that is we can call to as a Buddhist is an ancient word is Buddha Savaka, which gives the meaning of listeners of the Buddha or followers of the Buddha, right? So to become a follower of the Buddha, you can't just merely chant it and just it becomes okay. It doesn't happen like that. Okay, what you have to do, if you are a follower, you must follow it. You must practice it, right? And confidence in Buddhism or faith in Buddhism always seen like a questionable way of understanding, right? Explore it by yourself, see it for yourself, find it for yourself, and then take it into yourself, okay? So that is the way to become a Buddhist in the true Buddhist, right? Remember that just because you said that you are a Buddhist, or just because you chanted these lines that I go for refuge to the Buddha, doesn't mean that you truly become a Buddhist. What you have to do is put it into practice. Live in that practice. Okay? So I hope you got some idea about how to become a Buddhist. So in a short answer, there is no conversion or no baptism in Buddhism. What you need to do is follow the Buddha's path. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the threefold practices in Buddhism. Now, no matter how the way that you are approaching the Buddha's teachings, these are the three practices that you need to practice in Buddhism. Okay? So we are going to take a look at these things. Before understanding these three practices, we have to understand why we should practice these things. Okay? What is the goal and what is the ultimate goal of Buddha's teachings? Now, the ultimate goal of all the Buddhist teachings is to liberate your mind from unsatisfactoriness. Okay? Liberate your mind from all the sufferings in life. Okay? Because the Buddha said that the life is based on unsatisfactoriness. Okay? So once you have a deeper and a wiser understanding about your life, then you can liberate your mind from all the unsatisfactorinesses in your life. Okay? So Buddha realized that to achieve this state, to enlighten your mind and to liberate your mind, you need to make some conditions and you have to practice your mind. So that is why Buddha introduced us these three practices to practice in our practical life in order to enlighten our mind. So, without any further ado, let's dive into these practices. So the first practice in Buddhism is called Sila. Now, I have discussed about Sila in an earlier video. You can watch it here. So basically, the Sila means the moral and ethical conduct. Being disciplined from your body and from your words. Okay? So once you practice this Sila, you can be disciplined from your body and from your words. Now, Buddha understood that when we are living with people, the way we behave, right, the actions that we do from our body and the words that we speak will impact the lives of other people as well as us. Okay? It will impact the life of ourselves, the way we behave and way we speak. And also, it will highly influence the others' lives too. And that is why Buddha said, purify your conduct. Do wholesome things from your body and from your words. So Sila helps you to practice the verbal and the physical conduct in a moral and a more ethical and wholesome way. Okay? So in Sila, we have precepts. Basically, for lay people like you, you have 5 precepts that you can protect. Okay, the first one is abstaining from killing beings. The Buddha says that stay away from killing beings. In that way, you become disciplined from your body. Abstaining from stealing. Do not take others' possessions without their permissions, without the permissions of themselves, with the stealing mind. Okay, once you protect that, you be disciplined from your body. And Buddha said that stay away from sexual misconduct. When you abstain from sexual misconduct, you become disciplined from your body. And the Buddha said, stay away from lying. Be disciplined from your words. Do not break the trust of others from your words. And finally, Buddha says, stay away from intoxicating your body. Okay? Do not use intoxicants and other drugs. It will lead to harmful situations and harmful consequences in your life. So basically, Buddha introduced us these 5 precepts to protect in your life. When you observe and when you protect these 5 precepts, you become disciplined from your body. Okay? So that is why Sila helps you to be disciplined, to live a disciplined life. Why we should live a disciplined life? We should live a disciplined life to stay away from regrets. Because when you look at these 5 precepts, if you engage in these things, if you kill animals, if you steal others' possessions, if you commit sexual misconduct, if you lie, and if you intoxicate yourself, what will happen? There will be a lot of regrets in your life. And also there will be things that you have to worry about. That is why Buddha says, stay away from these 5 things and you will live a regretless life. Okay? So that is the first practice. Moving on to the second practice, we have samadhi. Now, samadhi can be translated as concentration or mental peacefulness inside your mind. Now remember, this samadhi is supported by the first practice that is called the sila. The Buddha said, when you practice sila or when you live a moral and ethical life, what will happen? You will have less regrets in your mind. You will have no regrets in your mind. Once you have no regrets in your mind, what will happen? It will lead to the mental happiness. Because most of the people, they worry about the things that they have done in the past. Okay? Unwholesome things that they have done in the past. But once you live according to the precepts, once you live a virtuous life, then you can be happy about yourself. And also, your mind will be in a good and a happy state. That is why this samadhi is supported by the sila. Now, why we need samadhi? Now, we need samadhi to think clearly. Because you know that when your mind is busy, when your mind is scattered, and when it runs here and there, it is very difficult to think clearly. Now, Buddha considered that thinking clearly and thinking freely is a great benefit to understand the reality of your life. And that is why we need to practice samadhi. For practicing samadhi, Buddha introduced many meditations. So one type of meditation is called samatha meditation. Samatha meditations helps you to condense your mind and find that peacefulness inside your mind. Okay? It includes loving kindness meditations, breathing meditations, mindfulness meditations. All those meditations will help you to achieve a peaceful and a calm life. Okay? So, but remember this, to achieve a peaceful and calm life, we have to focus on living a virtuous life, living a disciplined life. Keep that in your mind. So let's move on to the third practice, and this is the final practice in Buddha's teachings. That is called wisdom or panya in Buddhism. Now, so many people think that knowledge is wisdom. Always remember, knowledge is a part of wisdom, but it is not the wisdom. Now, Buddha explains that you must achieve wisdom from 3 means, from 3 types of wisdoms. The first type of wisdom is called Suttamaya Panya. Suttamaya Panya means
the wisdom that is gained through learning. Okay, you can learn, you can read, and you can listen to sermons, right? That is called the knowledge. Of course, wisdom has a part of knowledge. And also the second type of wisdom is called Chintamaya Prajna. Chintamaya Prajna is the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Okay, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting on what you have learned, the reality of your life. When Buddha teaches about the reality of the life, when Buddha teaches about the impermanence and the reality of all the things, you have to wisely reflect on it. Okay, you have to think upon it. And once you think and once you wisely reflect on it, you gain the wisdom. You gain a deeper understanding. Okay, that is called Chintamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. And also in the third type of wisdom, this is the most important type of wisdom, that is called Bhavanamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by practicing. Okay, now the wisdom that is gained by practicing is supported by all those two wisdoms, Chintamaya Prajna and Suttamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by listening or learning, and also the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Now Buddha says, when you learn and when you think and when you wisely reflect on it, then you can apply it to your practical life by doing meditations, by doing it practically. Okay, many of the people believe that Bhavanamaya Prajna is only based on meditations. No, Bhavana does not mean only the meditation. It gives the meaning of development or practicing. Okay, so you have to look, how can I apply these Buddha's teachings? How can I practice these things in my practical life? Once you do it, your wisdom will be developed. That is how you practice the wisdom in Buddha's teachings. So basically, these are the three main practices in Buddhism. Sila gives you the ethical and wholesome bodily and verbal conduct. And Samadhi will help you to develop a concentrated and a calmer and a peaceful mind. And Prajna gives you a deeper and a wiser understanding about the reality and our existence and all the experiences that we go through in our life. Once you practice these three practices, you will be directed. Your life will be focused on liberation. Your mind will be well prepared for the liberation and to a deeper understanding about the life. So these are the three practices that we practice in Buddhism. Try to practice these things and try to apply it to your practical life. Wish you all happy and a peaceful life. How to be mentally strong and how to develop a strong mindset. Well, first of all, let's take a look at what is a strong mindset is. Now, just take a look at this Dhammapada verse from the Buddha. The Buddha said, Selo yatha ekagano vatenana samirati evang ninda pasangsasu nasami janti pandita. As a rock that is unshaken by the storm, so too the wise are unshaken by the praise and the blame. Now, have you seen these big masses of rock? No matter how fast the wind blows, it is not shaken. The Buddha said, same like that rock, the wise people, they are unshaken by the praise and the blame in their life. And that is a strong mindset. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips that you can practice to build up a strong mindset. Tip number one is to maintain a stable mindset in ups and downs in life, right? You know, life is like an ocean. Sometimes ocean is calm and quiet and peaceful, and sometimes it is stormy, right? We face ups and downs in life. The Buddha said these are called 8 worldly conditions, attaloka dhamma. That means praise and blame, gain and loss, fame and disgrace, and pleasure and pain. These are the 8 worldly conditions that we face in our life. Remember these things. So, Buddha said, accept these ups and downs in life. Whenever people criticize you, whenever people blame you, whenever you go through tough times in your life, if you can be mindful about your mind and your emotions and your feelings, and not to chase after these emotions and feelings, then you can be more stable in these situations. You can maintain a good emotional balance in these situations. So it is very important to be mindful and to practice the self-awareness in these situations. And also remember, you will not be able to always get the sweet comments and sweet opinions and sweet experiences in your life. Life will give tough times to you. Life will throw lemons at you. So you have to maintain a stable mindset whenever you go through these situations by practicing the mindfulness and the self-awareness. Remember that. Tip number 2 is to build the resilience inside the mind. The resilience means the ability to stand up and bounce back when you go through the adversities and when you go through the challenging situations in your life. To practice this, one thing that you have to know and one thing that you have to understand is that what is in your control and what is not in your control. If you have a good understanding about what is in my control in my life and what is not in my control in my life, right? For an example, if people comes up to you and if they're starting to criticize you, those criticisms, those words that other people speaks about you is not under your control. But what is in your control is your reaction to them. It is always a choice. You can think about this like, should I become angry with this? Should I take this negativity? Should I share this negativity with them and be negative as them? If you can question like that, then you're not ready to take that negativity. And also remember, having a strong mindset does not mean that you're falling down and you're feeling hurt and you're feeling down. Having a strong mindset means you can stand up as soon as possible when you go through these tough situations. You can quickly stand up and you can quickly retrieve back to the normal situations in your life. That is called the resilience. So to practice this, you have to have a good understanding about what is in your control in your life and what is not in your control. The experiences happens to you and the things that people say to you, other people's opinions, other people's thoughts about you is not under your control. But all the things that is inside your mind, your opinions about them, your reaction to those experiences, totally under your control. So if something is not under your control, you don't want to worry about it because you cannot make any change about it. But if something is under your control, definitely you can make a change about it. You can change your choice, but not others. So remember that. And also you have to cultivate a problem-solving mindset. If you're easily panicked by the problems, or if you're easily triggered by the problems, then it is not easy to solve the problems, right? But if you can maintain a calm and a peaceful mindset, even when you go through the problems or tough situations in your life, then it is very easy to go into the roots and solve the problems. Sometimes we take the problems as ourselves. Like we think, we are the anger, I am this problem, why is this happening to me? Right? Remember, everything that happens to you will be impermanent. It is not a permanent thing, right? It will be changed one day. So what do you have to do? Keep that problem aside and try to dive into the roots of that problem. Ask from yourself, why this thing happened to me, right? What is the reason for this, right? What is the real reason for this? Where did I make the mistakes? And go to that problem, go to the root, and then you can solve that problem. That is how you build up a problem-solving mindset. And finally, tip number 3. Last but not least, you have to practice a mindset of self-love and self-compassion. Remember, if you're loving yourself, if you truly love yourself, you're not going to take other people's negativity with you, right? You're not ready to take other people's negativity with you. Whatever the thing that comes up to you, whatever the person comes up to you and bring their negativity with you, you say, well, I'm not going to take this negativity with me. I want to be peaceful. I want to love myself. I truly love myself. Therefore, I'm not ready to take your negativity. I'm not sharing this negativity with you. That is called self-love and self-compassion, right? To practice this, you can add up a simple practice that you can do it daily, right? When you get up early in the morning, just sit on your bed and think, no matter what happens during the day, I am going to love myself. I'm not going to take any negativity from this world, right? I'm going to empty my bin and I'm going to take a new bin to this world, right? Do you know if you've kept all the bad things and trash in your bin for a long time, what will happen? If you're in your trash bin, it will start to smell, no? But if you remove every single day all the trash in your bin and make it a clean place, then it's very easy to live. It's very easy to be peaceful within. So practice the self-compassion and self-love to build a strong mindset. Some people think that the people who are easily lose their temper, some people think that people who show their toughness and rudeness, they have this strong mindset. But no, anger and showing this negativity is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of weakness, right? If you are easily triggered by people, if you're easily triggered by the people's reactions, then it's not a strong mindset. The strong mindset is the mindset that is not disturbed by the ups and downs in your life. So practice these simple steps, right? Build a stable mindset, make your mind a resilient one, and finally, love yourself more than any other person in this world. When you practice these steps, you can build up a mindset that is unshaken by the ups and downs in your life. So I wish you all, may all of you find the happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya. There are so many kinds of people. They live in different social states, right? We have to deal with these people when we are living our life. So there's a problem which origins inside our mind when we live with these people and that problem is we compare our life with them, right? We compare our problems and our life and our social states with other people's lives. Remember, this comparison is not the problem. This comparison can be used in many ways. People use it in many ways, right? Some people, they use this comparison to motivate themselves, right? Now, when you see athletes and the people who are doing sports, when they see the players or athletes which have more capacity and more talents than them, then they try to compare themselves with others, and what they do is they develop themselves. They motivate themselves to do more, to practice more, right? So this comparison can be used in a good way. But many of us doesn't do that. What we do is we compare our life with others and we become frustrated with our life. Now this happens for many people who use social media. When they visit Facebook or Instagram, there are so many cases and there are so many problems that origins when you visit social media, because you see, when you visit those platforms, you see so many pictures of other people, how they live their life, how they eat, how they dress, how they go out in Sunday nights and Saturday nights. So you see such pictures. But currently, you may be not in a situation to enjoy your life. Sometimes you may be in a problem. So what you do is, you compare that life with your life and you become frustrated. You become sad. You become depressed. That is why, from researchers, it has been proved that the people who visit and who are in social media for long times, they have a higher probability of having the social stress and depression and mental stress inside. Why? That is because of this frustration due to comparison. So that is the comparison that we need to stop, right? If you compare your life with someone, and if you become motivated to be and develop more inside you, then it's a good one. So, when you see the happy lives of others, right? If you compare, then you become frustrated. Remember, you cannot be someone else, right? We can only be ourselves. If you try to be someone else, that means you're wasting your life. You're wasting your valuable time that can be used to develop yourself. So the first thing that you have to know is that I cannot be someone else, I can be me. You can be the best version of yourself. That is what we need to do. So what we have to do is, we need to battle with ourselves. We don't want to battle with others. Right? We don't want to be competitive. We don't want to have races. We don't want to do that. What we have to do is, we need to battle with our own weaknesses. We need to try hard to eliminate and destroy our own weaknesses, our own faults, our own bad habits. That is what makes our life develop. But if you compare with others' lives, and if you become frustrated, and if you do nothing, you're not developing anything, right? So it is like running a race. Now, you all have seen athletes running races, right? So athlete's job is to be the best person, the best athlete in his track, right? His job is to run as fast as he can in his track. But if he keep on staring on others' tracks, and if we keep thinking on what others do, he will not be successful. He will not become a successful athlete. So what he needs to do is to run as fast as he can by focusing on his own track, and then he will become a successful athlete. So life is also like that. You need to focus on your track. You need to focus on your life. How I'm going to develop my good qualities. How I'm going to develop my spirituality. How I'm going to develop my mental strength. If you focus on yourself, you see the weaknesses and strengths and opportunities that you have within yourself. Then you can have and you can develop these things inside you. Right? But if you merely comparing on others and staring to others' life, and if you do nothing, you will be in the same place forever. So I will give you a good suggestion that was given by our great teacher Supreme Buddha to stop this comparison. Right? That divine quality that Buddha explained that we should develop within ourselves is called mudita. What is that name? Mudita. Mudita means appreciative joyfulness. So the main aim in practicing this mind of mudita, the mind of appreciative joyfulness, is to eliminate the jealous or the envy that we build up inside by comparing our lives with others. Right? Normally when we compare, we build up the jealous inside. That is what makes our life frustrated. That is what makes our mind stressed and depressed. So what we need to do is to practice mudita, or appreciative joyfulness. So how to practice it? Here's how to do it. It's a simple way. It's a simple and a practical way. You should apply these things to your practical world when you're living in your life, right? This is how to do it. Is when you see the good lives of other people, when you see the bright sides of people, what you need to do is you need to practice your mind to be happy by seeing them, to wish the well-being of their life. Right? If you can be happy by seeing their good lives, if you can be happy by enjoying others' lives, you will never be frustrated. Right? You have to be happy, and you have to say, you have to wish the well-being of others from the deepest place in your heart. Then you will build up an inner happiness. Right? You are not comparing yourself with others. You become happy by seeing others' success. But still, you have the mind to develop your own qualities, to eliminate your own weaknesses. Right? You can use that comparison in a good way. So that is how to practice the mudita. So here's a simple way and a practical way to do it. Whenever you get up early in the morning, before you get down from your bed, just sit on the bed, close your eyes, and for maybe 5 seconds, you can think, may all the beings in this world become successful. May they enjoy their life. May they be happy forever. Wish the well-being of others. If you wish it, you will not become frustrated. Right? The best thing that you have to remember is you can be yourself only. You cannot be someone else. So try to develop your own good qualities and try to eliminate your own weaknesses. Battle with yourself, right? It is you versus you. You need to always give that and be the best version of yourself, right? If you do the best thing that you can be, you should do, and if you become the best person that you can become, then you don't want to worry about other things, right? You don't want to worry about the talents and the things that you did not have in your life, because that is because you became the best person of yourself. That is what you can do. So stop comparing yourself. Develop mudita, the appreciative joyfulness, and enjoy your life, enjoy your peacefulness by developing these good qualities. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvan Saranai.